Welcome to day 1 of our 10-day self-love yoga journey. My name is Shayna, and this is the Divine Flow Lab. I'm so thrilled to embark on this journey of self-discovery and self-love with each and every one of you. Today, our focus is on embracing the present moment. In the hustle of our everyday lives, it's so easy to get caught up in the past or worry about the future. Let's get started by coming to a seated position on our mat, then slowly closing the eyes as we begin to turn inwards. Feel the awareness of your surroundings and begin to embrace the present moment. Opening the eyes, bringing our palms to our knees. Let's take a few Kundalini circles here, keeping our hips planted into the mat as we begin to make small circles with our chest and torso. Breathing naturally as we begin to open up and awaken our spine. Then coming back to a neutral spine, let's walk our hands out in front of us, coming into a tabletop position for cat-cow. Inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the tailbone for cow pose. And exhale, rounding the spine, dropping the tailbone for cat pose. Inhaling into cow pose. And exhaling into cat pose. Then tucking the toes and keeping the knees bent generously as we lift our hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Keeping a bend in the knees as you inhale, then exhale, straightening the legs and pulling the heels down to the mat. Let's breathe naturally as we bend one knee and straighten the other leg, then alternating. Bending both knees generously, then slowly walking our feet up to meet our hands to come into a standing position, circling the arms up and bringing the hands down to heart center. We'll move through one round of Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, circling the arms up. Exhale, hinging forward at the hips, coming into forward fold. Sliding the hands up the shins, coming up halfway. Then releasing, placing both hands on the mat, stepping back into plank. Lowering down halfway, then flipping our toes and coming into upward facing dog. Then tucking the toes, downward facing dog. On an inhale, the left leg raises up towards the sky. Then exhale, stepping the left foot between both hands, lowering the right knee down on the mat as you come into your low lunge, raising both hands up towards the sky as you inhale. Then exhale, bringing both hands down towards the mat, then stepping back into three-legged dog. Bringing the left leg down towards the mat, shifting forward into plank and bringing both knees down towards the mat as you lower down all the way, coming up into cobra. Tucking the toes, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting the right leg up towards the sky for three-legged dog. And exhale, stepping the right foot between both hands, lowering down the left leg as we come into our low lunge. Inhale as you bring both hands up. Then exhale, bringing both hands down towards the mat. Bringing the right foot back and up for three-legged dog. Then lowering the right foot down onto the mat. Shifting forward into plank as we lower both knees down, lowering down all the way. Pressing into our palms, cobra. Tucking the toes, downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here, then lowering both knees down onto the mat, pushing our hips back towards our heels, coming into child's pose. Take a moment to reconnect with the breath, then press firmly into the palms and come into a tabletop position, tucking the toes, lifting the hips back and up for downward facing dog. On an inhale, walking both feet up to the hands, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, circling the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, circling both hands up. Then exhale, hinging forward at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, coming up halfway, sliding our hands up our shins. Then exhale, forward fold, planting both hands down and stepping into plank. Lowering down, upward facing dog. Then tucking the toes, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. On an inhale, the left leg lifts, bending at the knee to open up the hip. Then making a few circles with the left knee. And coming back into three-legged dog. Lowering the left leg down, shifting forward into plank as we bring both knees down towards the mat, lowering down all the way, then coming up into cobra. Then tucking the toes and lifting the hips, downward facing dog. On an inhale, the right leg lifts up towards the sky, bending at the knee and opening up the hip. Then taking a few circles with the right knee, taking the right leg back up towards the sky, then lowering it down towards the mat, shifting forward plank, lowering both knees down, then bringing ourselves down to the mat, pressing both palms into the mat as we come into cobra, then pushing the hips back towards the heels, child's pose. Shifting forward into a tabletop position, then coming into a seated position on our heels. Inhaling and exhaling as we feel our chest rise and fall. Take a moment to embrace this present moment as we begin to wind our practice down. Let's come onto our backs as we begin to prepare for Shavasana. Lowering down all the way and coming into a comfortable laying down position. Bringing both palms alongside the body, closing the eyes. Shavasana. Beginning to bring some awareness back into our body. wiggling the fingers and the toes. Before you begin to move onto your right side, take a moment to check in. Slowly turn onto your right side and sit up into a seated position. Closing the eyes. As we conclude our practice today, I would like you to express gratitude for this time that you've dedicated to yourself. Feel the energy of the present moment and carry it with you throughout the day. Thank you for being present here today. I look forward to our journey together over the next 10 days, and I can't wait to hear about the self-love, self-discovery, and positive energy that you're going to encounter. Namaste. Please feel free to like and subscribe. I'll see you on your mat tomorrow.